Mrs. Morris. I'm so clumsy.
All right, Randy. I think I owe you that one, so let's forget it. But let's draw the line here and now. I am an officer and you are a prisoner. Now, I won't treat you any differently to any of the other women. But in return, I expect you to treat this uniform with some respect. Understand?
As long as it's under uniform, we're talking.
It's not the time or the place for personal differences.
If you expect me to forget what you did to me, you're crazy. I promised I'd make you pay, and I keep my promises.
Hey, Mrs. M, would you like a choc? Just leave the strawberry creams for me.
Not now, thank you, Lizzie. All right, ladies, come along, keep moving.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey.
Good luck, join the others.
Yes, Mrs. Morris, I will. I'd just like to tell you something if you've got time.
Well?
I've been thinking about what happened between us, and, well, I understand how you must have felt. I don't think any mother would want her son to marry a prostitute. I know I wouldn't.
That wasn't my objection, Randy. If Marty had known the truth and still wanted to marry you,
I know I lied, but I panicked, Mrs. Morrison. I panicked because I really did love Marty, and I thought you were going to take him away from me. I just want you to know that I'm sorry.
All right, Randy. Thank you for telling me.
Mrs. Morris, I meant to ask you before. Do you think I could see Mrs. Reynolds sometime this afternoon?
All right, I'll take you through after lunch.
Thank you. We'll only take
Oh,
a minute.
gosh, Mrs. Morris, I'm awfully sorry. I'm running late. I didn't hurt you, did I?
No, Pixie, you didn't. Come on, go and join the end of the queue. Good love?
Yes, good love. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to pick up the receipt for my necklace.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. What necklace?
Oh, I don't suppose Mrs. Morris has had a chance to tell you yet. It's a really beautiful necklace, and that's why I didn't hand it over when I came in here. I know I should have. Anyway, I realize now Mrs. Morris was right. Somebody might steal it, and I'd hate that to happen.
Of course. Well, give it to me and I'll have it put with your things.
Oh, well, I haven't got it. I gave it to Mrs. Morris just before lunch.
I beg your pardon? You did no such thing.
Mrs. Morris, I did. You must remember we talked about the diamond.
I just don't forget diamond necklaces, good love. This is ridiculous, Mrs.
Hold
Reynolds.
on, Meg. What happened when you handed the necklace over?
Well, nothing. Mrs. Morris put it in her pocket and walked away.
You're up to something, good love.
Don't touch your pocket. Show me your hands. Over. Do you have any objection to good love looking, Mrs. Morris?
Of course not.
I'm sorry about this, Mrs. Morris, but it's gone. What the hell have you done with it?
Are you sure there was a necklace?
Of course I am. The other women saw it. Ask them. Where is it? You know bloody well it was in your pocket.
Mrs. Reynolds, I want to undergo a body search and a locker search straight away.
Yes, I think perhaps you should.
You're very organised, aren't you?
Well, I'm not really. I mean, we were supposed to be having soup tonight, but I just forgot all about it. Don't know what's happening to me lately. What is it?
There's been a mistake with a new prisoner brought in this morning.
Hardy. But I put her through myself. What's wrong?
She's supposed to be on remand.
Well, I'm sure she's been convicted.
No, I checked the papers myself. Look, don't worry about it. I'll sort it out. You finish, Mason.
Good morning. Am I glad to see you sitting there looking so healthy this morning?
Why?
I waited outside your place till 9 o'clock last night. By the time I gave up and went home, I thought everything from a car accident to a kidnapping could have happened to you.
Anne, the dinner. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, how could I forget?
Not to worry, these things happen. And I meant it about being pleased to see you. I really did think you could have been in an accident.
Well, it still might happen, only it won't be an accident. What I really need is a good hit over the head with a hammer.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember anything about Parker's father ringing last week?
Oh, yes. Well, as a matter of fact, Colleen took the call and asked me to pass it on.
Oh.
Why? What's the matter?
Well, Parker said she didn't get any message.
Didn't get it, but I must have passed it on. It was something about her brother being ill, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, now I come to think of it, I can remember the message all right, but not actually speaking to Parker.
Well, I just said I'd check for her.
Was she very upset?
Well, she wasn't happy, but can't be expected to remember everything, can we?
We have to, Rick, especially when someone's sick. Oh, I'll speak to her.
You, didn't forget my phone call too, did you?
No, Rick, I didn't. Come on, what's going on? Is this a go slow, a go fast?
We are going crazy trying to get something done about that damn machine.
That's right, it's dangerous, remember?
Yes, well, we don't have an electrician on call. You'll just have to wait.
What else is new?
Well, why don't we ask Mrs. Barron to call her electrician? He's awfully quick. Remember the last time when the dryers broke down? He had them fixed by lunchtime.
Mrs. M, exactly when are the electricians coming?
Well, it will be attended to as soon as possible.
Mrs. Morris, please?
Certainly.
Oh, don't worry about us. We're only prisoners.
Something wrong?
Well, I don't quite know how to put this, but Ruth Shaw,
She's in solitary.
she was. Found her wandering around in the hallway.
She couldn't be. I locked her in.
Yeah, well, I just locked her in again. She said that you didn't.
No. She must have put something in the door. I forgot to lock it in the first place, didn't I?
Certainly looks that way, doesn't it? Not that it's anything too serious.
It is serious, Rick. It is. It just shouldn't happen.
Come on. We all make mistakes. Just thought I'd check with you, that's all.
Thanks.
What about me the other day? Joan walked in, I called him a freak.
Well, I better get back to the women. Thanks again.
But surely, Meg, the shock Myra got was worth reporting. The machine was dangerously faulty. The accident with Pixie should never have happened.
I just plain forgot all about it. I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, come on, Meg, I know that. But according to the women, you were there when it happened. How could you forget? Surely you realize how serious this sort of negligence can be.
I know, but I just can't recollect the women telling me. Oh, it's just not like me.
There have been other things, Meg. Cass's phone call and our dinner party. Are you sure there's nothing wrong?
Anyone can make mistakes. I'm just having a bad week, that's all.
I think it's more serious than that. In all the time I've known you, I've never known you let the women down. I've always counted on you to have a good rapport with them. Now, with the mood they're in, the last thing we want is to antagonize them.
Well, I'll go and apologize to Pixie. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
You realize I'll have to put in a report to the department. I think I can do it without mentioning you.
Then there must be something wrong. Look, Meg, when you do start forgetting things at work and at home, there has to be a reason.
At home? What are you talking about?
Well, there have been a few things.
Like what?
All right, the night we came home and the laundry floor was flooded. One of us must have forgotten to turn off the taps. I know you thought it was me, but it wasn't. Well, you must remember that. You rinsed a blouse out for me, right?
What's happening to me?
Oh, I don't know. But I do think you should see a doctor.
But there's nothing wrong with me. Well, not physically, anyway.
Of course there isn't, but you are forgetting things, and in this job it can be dangerous. So what do you say? Will you please see a doctor?
God, I hope she's going to be all right.
She will be. Oh, and I think what might have happened.
Mrs. Morris, can we have a little chat?
Yes, of course. What about?
Well, I'm no Einstein, but it doesn't take much for me to know when something's wrong. I mean, some of the new women here, they're even saying that you and Miss Ferguson are doing a sister act.
You can't be serious. Oh, for God's sake, you know I'd never do anything malicious toward the women.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, maybe if you tried to explain to them that
There is
something...
nothing to explain. I just forgot, that's all. Oh, for heaven's sake, if it'd been anybody else...
Yeah, but it wasn't, was it? Mrs. Morris, we've known each other too long to beat about the bush. I'd really like to help you if I could. I mean, if you have some sort of problem, then
There
just
is
tell...
no problem. I just made a mistake, that's all.
Oh. Well, I guess we both did.
Right. Now we better get a move on or you'll miss out on your dinner.
Whatever you say.
If I were as fit as you, Meg, I'd be turning cartwheels.
You mean there's nothing wrong?
Nope, you're as healthy as a horse. And twice as pretty.
God, there I was imagining I had a brain tumour. Suppose I should be pleased.
But you're not.
I don't know. Well, something's wrong, I know that.
I've known you for 10 years, Meg. You're just not the hysterical type. But this memory loss thing, well, I just can't explain it. Now, if you're on medication, that would be different. But I know I haven't prescribed anything, and so...
Oh.
Don't tell me you are taking something.
Sleeping tablets. I got them from a doctor near the prison some months ago.
Why didn't you tell me?
Didn't think it was important. I mean, they were just sleeping tablets.
Well, until I see the prescription, I can't be sure. But I'd say we've found your problem, Meg.
And apparently the effects are cumulative. The more you take, the worse the memory loss.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't anything more serious, Meg.
Oh, me too. Hate to think what might have happened.
But it didn't, so let's just forget about it.
I do think I owe the women an explanation. After all, I am responsible for this strike.
Oh, don't be a martyr, Meg. The women have lots of reasons for striking. You're way down on the list.
Oh, I do think it'd help if they understood why I slipped up. I'll be very careful about handling it.
All right. Can't see that it'll do any harm.
I'm sorry, Meg. I didn't mean to stare, but I was just thinking. You really do worry about everyone, don't you? Even the inmates.
No more than anyone else.
Rubbish. Will you do me a favor?
If I can.
Have dinner with me tonight.
Oh, well,
I've got two very special reasons. One, I need to talk to someone who really knows the inmates.
And?
And I'd like to take you to dinner.
Well,
please say yes. I've got a terrible persecution complex.
Thank you. I'd love to.
Great. I'll just get the rest of my stuff. Oh, I've heard the governor doesn't like fraternization, so it's between us two, okay?
I won't lag. I promise.
Now, have you got a favorite piece of music? You know, something that relaxes you.
Oh, yes, that tape I had on when you arrived this evening.
Right. Oh, yes, perfect. Are you relaxed?
No.
Oh, come on. Just drop the shoulders now. Just relax. Now, lie back. That's it. Now, just relax. Relax completely and listen to the music. Just relax. Close your eyes. That's it. Now, just relax. Morning.
Morning.
Sleep well?
Like I haven't slept for months. It was blissful. How did you do it?
Don't you remember?
All I remember is going to bed and waking up this morning feeling completely rested.
There we are, then. Good food, good wine, enjoyable company. It's a sure remedy for insomnia.
I suspect there was far more to it than that.
Trade secret, but I'm glad it worked. Look, as a thank you, I think you should have dinner with me tonight.
Well,
and I won't have to rush off and do paperwork this time.
You don't have to twist my arm. Yes, I'd love it. But on one condition, that you have dinner at my place. Okay?
Wonderful.
Try to help the women because their life in there was so harsh.
This kindness, is it part of your duties?
Well, I suppose it's not a duty, but
what, Meg? Do the prisoners ever thank you for it? Do they, respect you for the extra help you give them?
I think they do. I mean,
what about your colleagues? Colleen, Rick, Joan, do they respect your ability as an officer?
Of course they do.
Oh, is that so? Are you sure about that?
Perhaps Joan doesn't approve of me, but the others.
Does Colleen? Why did Colleen get the deputy governorship instead of you?
I turned down the promotion. She knows that.
Then why does she laugh at you behind your back?
No. She wouldn't laugh. She's my friend.
That's funny. She told me she thought you were stupid for giving up that promotion.
Colleen?
Not just her, Meg. Everybody. All the officers, they make fun of your softness with the prisoners. They ridicule you.
Make fun of me?
Now, Meg, we've got to stop them laughing at you. You don't like them laughing at you behind your back, do you?
No.
Then you must stop treating the prisoners with kid gloves. They're scum. And they must be punished for their crimes.
Punished?
They think you're a pushover and they use it against you. Now, a good officer wouldn't let that happen. You mustn't let them push you around any longer. Joan Ferguson is a good officer. Follow Joan's example.
Follow Joan.
You'll get the prisoner's respect then. Punishment. Punishment wins respect.
Punishment. Punishment.
We would never have any trouble with these stupid power plays if we followed the methods they use at Blackmore.
Well, thank God we don't. Half of their ideas went out with the bustle.
I agree with you, Joan. Stricter discipline would certainly make it easier on the officers and the women. Draw a line and make them toe it, then everyone knows where they stand.
Well, I'm glad someone around here's seen the light.
You're not serious, are you?
Well, I'm certainly not condoning medieval methods, but rules have been set down and it's our duty to enforce them.
That's a bit black and white, isn't it? What's got into you this morning?
Well, it's obvious that my leniency in the past hasn't helped the women at all. It's high time I had a stricter approach.
Well, if I knew who had finally broken her rose-coloured glasses, I think I'd kiss him.
Come off it. She's just uptight about something. People don't change their ideals overnight.
No, she sounded pretty convinced.
Why aren't you in the laundry, Key?
It's been in the toilet, Mrs. Morris.
Slacking off in your cell more like.
Come on, even screws have to go.
How dare you speak to an officer like that? Any more of this insolence and I'll throw the book at you. Now you get back to work. Why are you out of your work area, Stratford?
Well, I came to get a few rags, Mrs. Morris.
Then get them and stop holding up the work.
Oh, she's not holding us up, Mrs. Morris. We're on strike, remember?
Are you answering me back, Mason?
No, Mrs.
Then remember, in future, you don't address an officer unless you have a justifiable request. Now, have I made myself clear, or do I have to put you on a charge to convince you?
No, Mrs. Yes, Mrs. Morris.
What's the matter,
She was
Brian?
only
Haven't
trying.
I made myself clear enough?
Come on, Mrs.
All
Morris.
right, then. It seems there's only one way to teach you. You're on a charge for insubordination. Now, anyone else? Right. Get back to work. Where are you going, Mitchell?
Oh, I was just going to get me jacket, Mrs. M. It's bloody freezing.
How dare you speak to me like that?
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Morris.
You get back to the laundry.
Well, what about me jacket?
You heard me. Try doing some work for a change. It might keep you warm.
Yes, Mrs. Morris.
The next time I catch you out of the laundry, I'll put you on a charge.
Oh, I guess what I am trying to say is that, well, you don't seem to have been yourself for the past 24 hours.
You mean good old predictable Meg isn't quite so predictable anymore?
Yes, something like that.
Well, it's about time, isn't it? I've been letting those women walk all over me for far too long, Colleen. It's not good for them, it's not good for Wentworth, and more importantly, it's not good for me as an officer.
Hey, come on. Your rapport with the women and their willingness to listen to you. Well, that's what's always made you such a good officer.
Great. So now you're telling me I'm not a good officer anymore.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it would be a shame to lose that relationship with them.
Colleen, I've never interfered with the way you do your job, though God knows there have been times. What in the hell's name gives you the right to criticize my methods?
Well, it just seems that your methods have changed somewhat lately.
Go on.
All right. Your methods over the past few hours have been compared to those of our very dear friend, Joan Ferguson.
Well, let me tell you something, Colleen. I'm starting to think that Joan is a damn good officer.
Oh, you're joking, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, for God's sake, just listen to yourself.
No, Colleen. You listen to me. I am sick and tired of your petty insults. Is this all the thanks I get for looking after you when you needed help? I think it's high time you went out and found yourself somewhere else to live, because I am sick and tired of being used.
Well, what sort of things are they criticising you for?
For just doing my job, as far as I can see.
And what? They're saying you're being too soft or something?
No, the exact opposite. Oh, that's the crazy thing. John, this is a prison. No one seems to realise just how important discipline is.
Well, that sounds pretty logical to me.
Of course it does. I mean, give these women an inch and they'll take a mile. I mean, it's been proven time and time again.
Oh, yes, but Colleen, you wouldn't think a good friend would criticize you unjustly.
No. So what am I going to do about it, John? I'd hate to lose her as a friend.
Go on doing what you believe to be right. If she really is a friend, she'll come around.
Oh, I hope so. I hate to be a bother, but would you mind talking some more about this with me?
It's no bother, and I'd be happy to.
Well, perhaps we could have a drink after work.
I can't. I promised I'd spend the evening with a colleague. He's just back from Europe and bursting with new ideas. I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
How about tomorrow?
Well, whenever you can spare the time.
Believe me, you've got nothing to worry about. You're doing everything exactly as you should be.
Well, I'd better be going back to it. Thanks.
Continued notes on subject number 3, Margaret Morris. This case is working better than expected. I must take all necessary steps to ensure that I'm not held responsible for her dramatic personality reversal. It is now time to remove all post-hypnotic suggestions from the subject's memory.
Now, you, dining room, eat. Eat now.
Thank you. I do not wish to eat.
You've missed one sitting already, and there are only 2.
I have no hunger. Women frightened.
Please yourself. If you want to starve, that's your business.
I find you very attractive. And, I'm not sure if I could settle for just a cup of coffee.
Well, we did say we didn't want to complicate things. At work.
How was the dinner date?
Very nice, thanks.
Is that it? That's all you're going to tell me?
Well, let's just say I'm glad you were on night shift.
Well, perhaps I'd better pack my bags. He would be a much more interesting roommate.
Colleen, for heaven's sake, we hardly know each other. Anyway, I only
It's
mean...
all right. I will put myself down for some more night shifts. Well, in the last week or 2, you have been pretty strict with the women.
What?
Even I've been surprised at some of the penalties you've dealt out.
I don't think I've heavied anyone who didn't deserve it. Anyway, I must go and relieve Joyce. See you later.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you something and I don't want to, but... Jonathan is too timing you.
What?
Well, rather he's too timing Anne. And I would say he's a bastard.
How do you know?
Anne, she just told me. Apparently they were together years ago and it's all on again. Mick, she doesn't know about you. I'm sorry.
How could I fall for it? Oh, my God, what a pushover.
Come on, you weren't to know. And I suppose he's got a lot of charm.
Yes. Hasn't he? Well, I won't say I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's all right. Sit down, Meg.
I didn't come here to sit down or calm down. I want to know the truth about you and Anne.
Oh.
Thank you. You've just answered my question.
Now, Meg, listen to me, please.
I'll listen.
I've known Anne for over 25 years. There was a time when we almost got married.
So, does that give you a license to play around with our feelings?
Of course it doesn't, but what I meant was, whatever has passed between Anne and myself shouldn't affect us.
You're unbelievable.
Have you told Anne about this?
Not yet. But I've been stopped from making a fool of myself. Shouldn't someone tell Anne?
You realize what effect it might have on her?
I don't know who you're most concerned for. Yourself or Anne?
Oh, for God's sake, Meg, I'm concerned about both you and Anne. I know you're
save
upset
your
at
breath,
the moment.
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No. It's not important.
I've been avoiding it, but I think we ought to have a talk about Jonathan.
Yes, sir. I suppose we should.
From what Collins told me, I'm not the only one to have had the wool pulled over my eyes.
And I had no idea you were seeing him.
Oh, likewise, he made quite sure of that.
I feel so stupid about it. I mean, to have been taken in like that.
Well, how do you think I feel? I fell for the man 25 years ago. I, of all people, should have known better.
And I'm so sorry.
I'm just glad for your sake the whole thing came to light when it did.
Well, for both our sakes, surely. Well, he's left quite a trail of destruction behind him. It'll take Parker some time to get over this, and Mitchell too, no doubt.
I was afraid he might have destroyed our friendship, too. Glad he hasn't, Meg.
Will Officers Ferguson and Morris report to the Governor's office immediately, please?
Well,
Good luck.
see you at home.
Well, let's hope it's good news. You could do with a holiday.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Got held up in reception. Well, for once the department has acted quite quickly. They've made their decision on Collins' replacement already.
Well, that shouldn't have been too difficult, even for them.
Yes, well, there are lots of things to take into consideration. It isn't just a matter of experience.
Of course.
We understand that.
After all, the job isn't just a backup position. As you know, the deputies had to step in and take over on several occasions, so the department is, in fact, selecting a potential governor. Now, I want to emphasize that the officer who doesn't get the promotion shouldn't take it as a reflection on her efficiency.
I'm sure any intelligent person would realize that.
Good. I felt sure that I could rely on that reaction from you, Joan. And I know that you'll take Meg's appointment as deputy in just that spirit.
Joan, before you go back. Yes? I just want to say I know how much you wanted the position, and I'm
Spare
sorry.
the sympathy, no one's listening.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I don't know your little game, Morris. I have seen you sucking your way around this prison till it's made my stomach turn.
I beg your pardon.
So it worked, but you won't be able to keep it up. It takes more than crawling to hold that job.
Have you quite finished? Now, I'll forget that little outburst because I know you're upset. But the decision has been made, and the sooner you accept it, the better it'll be all round.
Accept it, that'll be the day. You made damn sure I wouldn't get that job, didn't you?
What do you mean?
Ah, the little Camilla Wells slander bit in the paper. You certainly had a hand in that. Or maybe one of your little crim mates did it for you so it wouldn't reflect back on you.
If you think I'm going to stand
And if you
here
think I'm going to stand here and see Wentworth turned into a circus just because the department made a mistake...
Then as new deputy governor, I suggest if you can't live with it, you'd better write out your resignation. Because I am here to stay. Ferguson. Yes, who is it?
Oh, come on, open up. It's a surprise.
Yes? Tracy! Oh my God, it is! Come in. I hardly recognized you.
Oh, don't tell me I've changed that much. It's only been, what, 3 years?
Well, if you say so, right now I'd believe anything. Oh, it is good to see you.
I know employment's hard to find, but if you've been in prison, it's almost impossible.
At least you didn't throw the towel in.
Oh, don't worry, I nearly did. But then Dad sent me a ticket to go and visit him in Indonesia.
How is he?
Same old Bob, lovely as ever. Trisha's nice too.
Trish?
His wife. Held my breath for a minute, but we got along pretty well. You know, I'd always really thought that... Is there something wrong?
No. The truth is I didn't know he'd married again.
You're joking. You mean he didn't write and tell you?
Well, no. Unless something went wrong with the mail.
Oh, Meg, I'm so sorry. I just thought that you...
It's all right. Right, don't be silly. Just got a bit of a shock, that's all. I hope she's nice.
She's okay. But if you ask me, he had the best when he was married to you.
Thanks. Well, I can see we've got a lot to catch up on. Hope you'll stay with me whilst you're in town.
Well, actually, that was going to be my next question. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not. Oh, hello, Tracy. Did you manage to find everything? Sorry to sneak up on you, but I finished work early and thought you might like to go shopping or something.
Oh, yes, that sounds...
Is this her?
Yes. Meg, I'd like you to meet Mark Sanders. He's a friend of mine.
Don't be stupid. We can't bluff this through.
Will you calm down?
What's going on?
I'm sorry, lady. I think you better sit down. I really don't want to use this.
Don't ask what you've done. It's obviously a robbery of some kind.
TAB. Meg, believe me, I am sorry this had to happen, but we really had nowhere else to go.
Why did you do it? Why did you let him talk you into it?
Other way around. I talked him into it.
What?
It wasn't hard, Mrs. Morris. I've been out of work for 3 years, and some people turn very funny when they see you carrying around something like this.
Well, what do you expect? I mean, would you hire an addict?
I'm a diabetic.
But he may as well be a junkie. People just don't want to know.
Bloody hell. 570 lousy dollars.
At least it's in small notes. Oh, Mark, can't you go and do that somewhere else?
Here, take this. And Mrs. Morris, don't you try anything, please.
Mark!
I told her not to. I told her!
You'll be all right, just a bit of a lump.
Oh, I suppose I should be grateful my head's still on my shoulders.
Well, you shouldn't have tried to run away.
Oh, silly me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that makes me feel a lot better.
Can I get you anything? A cup of tea or
Oh,
something?
yes, some coffee and some aspirin.
Hold this.
I didn't want to hurt you, Mrs. Morris.
Is that so? Well, what do you do when you want to hurt someone? If you stop pointing that gun at me, you might sneeze and then you'll really have to start apologising.
Kettle's on. We can all have a cuppa and calm down. And just in case you've got any ideas of leaving us, we'll hang on to these. What else you got in here? Well, look at this. Save, save, save. 7,500. You lucky old thing.
It's called work, Tracy. Something you've never been interested in.
Now, wait a minute, lady. You're lucky. You've got a job. You can make that sort of money.
Don't worry about her. I think we're the lucky ones now.
What do you mean?
Well, now that we've got this.
That would be very foolish.
500 from the TAB isn't going to get us very far, is it?
I couldn't help that.
I know. With this little book, it's going to be a lot easier than going around sticking a gun in someone's face. No risk at all.
Aren't you in enough trouble as it is?
I can't see how this is going to make any difference. It's pennies from heaven, Mark. We'd be fools not to take it. There. That'll do it. Can't pick the difference. Right. Well, I'll get going then, hey? You can babysit Stepmom until I get back.
Well, won't they get suspicious when she doesn't turn up for work?
Of course they will. The whole thing's ridiculous.
No problem, Meg, dear. All you have to do is make a phone call and tell them you're sick and can't come in.
I will not.
Oh, yes, you will. And that's not all. You're going to ring the building society and tell them that you're coming into the city to close your account and that you want to withdraw the full amount in cash.
And if I don't?
Who's being ridiculous now? Let's call Wentworth, shall we? Mark gets very nervous holding that gun, don't you, Mark? Anything could happen, especially if he was pointing it at you. Show her, Mark. I'd start dialing if I was you.
What are you worried about?
Who's worried?
It's the third time you looked at your watch in the last 10 minutes.
Shut up. Where are you going?
I just wondered whether I could have another cup of coffee.
What the hell did you do that for? Don't you know I can die without that? Well, that was the idea, wasn't it? Well, let me tell you something, lady. Anyone doing any dying around here, it's gonna be you. I mean it. One more smart stunt like that and you've had it. No, you don't. Get that idea out of your head. You're staying here till this thing's finished, one way or another. Now sit down.
Tracy's taking your time. Building society's not that far away. I would have expected her back ages ago.
So she got caught in the lunchtime rush.
Do you really expect her to come back? I mean, why would she now she's got the money?
Because it's not the money that's important. It's us, our future together. The money's just to get us started.
I've known Tracy a lot longer than you. Can't you see she's using you just as much as she is me? I mean, that's all she is. She's a user.
Leave it.
Might be something important. I mean, perhaps it's Tracy.
Tracy agreed if she needed to call for any reason, she'd let it ring once and dial again. So leave it. Because if anything goes wrong, I've got my escape hatch right here. One bullet for you and one for me. Definitely one for you. What? You're trying to trick me. As soon as I'm out of that door, you'll phone the police. And you'll identify me to them. Well, you're not going to, because I'm going to kill you before I go.
I don't believe you're capable of killing anyone in cold blood. I mean, you're just not the type.
Don't tell me I'm not capable. All my bloody life, people have been telling me I'm not capable. I can show them what I really can do.
Why? I mean, what good will it do? I mean, in your condition, you couldn't even cross the street. All you're doing is turning a minor robbery into a murder. Well, if you really want to wreck your life, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, you're right. Except my life's already a wreck. It's been a wreck since the day it started. And the best thing I can do is get out of it now.
That was a pretty grueling experience you went through yesterday.
No. That's one of the reasons I want to work. Takes my mind off it.
Anything on Tracy yet?
No, the police are watching the airports. I think she might have left the country.
No, well, she could certainly afford to with your savings in her pocket. Very little chance you'll ever see that again, I suppose, even if they do catch her.
No, that's one worry I don't have. The Building Society have admitted fault and are going to replace it.
That's good news.
Suppose you've heard the news. After all, you rigged it. Brainwashed the other officers and told the department you wouldn't work with me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The governor's reinstatement is what I'm talking about. And don't give me that wide-eyed, innocent look. You engineered the whole thing from start to finish.
Joan, I may have been reinstated as deputy, but I hardly think I've got that sort of influence with the department.
That was my job. And you can't convince me that you lot didn't gang together and backstab me out of the running.
We didn't have to, Joan. I mean, the simple fact is that Anne is far more suitable to the job as governor than you'll ever be. And thank God the department woke up in time.
Well. I suppose you'd like me to hand in my resignation right now. That would really make your day, wouldn't it?
If you had a glimmer of self-respect, Joan, that's exactly what you should do.
Forget it. I am not through with you or a lot of other people in this place yet. Not by a long shot.